Welcome back to the most news in the morning. President Obama appealing to you and all Americans to take responsibility during these tough times. But how is that message being received? We're using all of the resources of CNN to gauge your responses to the president's speech. Jim Acosta is live from Washington for us this morning. And Jim, we're talking about some dial testing here. Love this stuff.
That's right, John. I do, too. I feel a little bit like Alexander Graham Bell talking about dial testing this morning between the Twittering and the Facebook and the iReports. This seems a little old-fashioned, but in defense of dial testing, you know, you can get a lot of emotions from these folks when you see them up close gauging the president's speech. And a lot of times, those emotions are raw and unfiltered. And our lesson that we took from last night's dial testing, hope works, blame doesn't.
While our economy may be weakened and our confidence shaken, a year.
Time and again, the president appealed directly to a public that is frustrated and frightened. So with the help of polling firm Luntz and Maslansky, we watched as a focus group, half Republican, half Democrat, rated the speech, turning up their dial testers during parts they liked.
I always get hope out of his speeches because that's what he drives on, hope.
And down for moments they could live without.
No details. I mean, it all sounded good, big picture, but when you got down to how you're going to do it and what's it going to cost, I didn't hear any details.
When the president sounded hopeful, laying out his agenda for the country, our group immediately responded.
We will rebuild. We will recover, and the United States of America will emerge stronger than before.
What I liked was the optimism that he provided.
The meters spiked when there was talk of sacrifice and personal responsibility. The dial testers nearly went off the charts when he slammed Wall Street CEOs. But watch what happens when the president noted the massive deficit he inherited from the Bush administration.
The surplus became an excuse to transfer wealth to the wealthy instead of an opportunity to invest in our future.
Republican meters in red plummeted, while Democratic green meters shot up. Our group reflected a nation that remains deeply divided. But the outrage was bipartisan when it came to those irresponsible homeowners singled out by the president.
I don't think I'm the only one out here who's pissed off that, you know, foreclosures are happening because bad loans were made, and now I'm going to be paying for it.
I think that he's on probation. It's a trial period.
This is a very political speech. It was a partisan speech. And in a lot of ways, it played out just like the stimulus vote.
Pollster Michael Maslansky says the president gave voters the optimism they've been craving, even if only Democrats in this focus group were sold.
It seems like he just doesn't have them all on board yet.
He definitely does not. For the first bipartisan or post-partisan president, as he said in the summit he had the other day, he's got a lot of work to do. And he may get there, but there's a lot of skepticism among Republicans.
But he hasn't won them over yet.
Definitely has not won them over yet.
On top of the economic crisis, the president talked a lot about change last night, whether it be the budget, health care, or education. But as we found, his audience hasn't changed much since the election. John.
All right, Jim Acosta for us this morning with a fascinating look at the president's speech last night. Jim, thanks so much.
You bet.